A group of pro-Israel lawyers are trying to destroy the career of a British-Palestinian surgeon who risked his life to operate on civilians in Gaza.
This is a war crime that the world has seen coming.
I'm joined now by Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitta, who is due to face his 10th action by UK Lawyers for Israel in the coming months. Dr. Ghassan, welcome to Declassified UK.
Well, thank you very much for this invitation. Thank you.
Can we just start by talking about the cases that they've made against you?
So let's start from the very beginning of the war, at the beginning of the first half of October. When I was out in Gaza, I received a message from my family that they had been visited by the anti-terrorism police. And my lawyers at ICJP then discovered, by requesting a reason from the Metropolitan Police for this visit, that this was instigated by a request through the Foreign Office.
This organization appeared long before, October 7th.
All of your help and volunteering and support of Israel really counts, and we're so grateful for everything you all do.
I think the first instance of them in company records in the UK was 2010.
Apartheid, you have heard debunked by those that have grown up in Israel and experienced it, the opportunities that Israeli Arabs have. The lie is perpetrated by infantilizing the Palestinians and ignoring the self-governance that exists in Gaza, in the West Bank. And organizations like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch lie about what the position is.
Supposedly they were formed to kind of counteract the boycott, divestment, sanctions movement. Had you heard of them? Had you come into any contact with them before your first trip to Gaza?
So I served on the boards of some British charities working in Palestine. The CEO would be receiving complaints submitted by UKLFI to the Charity Commission on a monthly basis. And we're talking about even the big humanitarian organizations like Oxfam. So it made it their job to try to ensure that it became very difficult for humanitarian organizations registered in the UK to work with Palestinians, including a complaint to the Charity Commission with regards to the breast cancer unit in the West Bank, that it shouldn't be funded. My next encounter was the day after I survived the Ahli hospital massacre, when Israel fired a missile at the Ahli hospital, killing 483 people. The following morning, the Daily Telegraph and the Jewish Chronicle contacted my clinic in London and started what has continued since then as a continuous campaign of harassment.
And here in the UK, they seem to be very focused on hospitals, NHS employees. There was this very prominent example of them taking down the artwork of children from Gaza at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital in London. They've gone through the tweets of midwives and doctors and nurses to try and get them sacked, effectively. What have you been hearing about the impact it's having in the NHS?
Well, there's over 60 doctors who have had complaints against them by UK Lawyers for Israel with the General Medical Council. And a multitude of others who've had complaints made against them within their own hospitals and trusts. One of my colleagues rightfully identified the problem for them and for the British government is that the people trust doctors more than they trust politicians, and certainly more than they trust lawyers like UK Lawyers for Israel. And so it is critical to concentrate on those sectors of society that have the most credibility in order to silence it.
And just to point out a few other recent examples, so they have this section on their website called Achievements, and they list things like reporting the Daily Mail and the Express. For reporting on the famine in Gaza, they used this picture of a malnourished child. They reported them to one of the press standards boards. They forced the British wheelchair basketball team to apologise for turning their backs on the Israeli national anthem. They got textbooks changed in schools that were talking about the Nakba. Some of what you see of their actions might kind of seem a bit petty, but I think the concerning thing is how kind of widespread and far-reaching these legal actions are.
Oh no, the aim is to create a McCarthyite culture of fear. I mean, that's because if you win, you lose financially, and if you lose, you lose. And so it doesn't matter for them trying to go after as many people as possible to try to reimpose that complete embargo on criticizing Israel in any shape or form or showing any kind of sympathy or solidarity with the Palestinians. It's an attempt to impose censorship in the UK.
And you'd imagine many of these smaller organisations, as soon as they get a legal letter through, they wouldn't have the means to defend it and they just comply.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I know some British humanitarian organisations before 2023 had stopped doing projects in Palestine because of the harassment by UK Lawyers for Israel. When I came out of Gaza, and after I was nominated by the students of Glasgow University to run for rector, UK Lawyers for Israel then made 4 submissions to the clerk of the Senate of Glasgow University with a file that now has really made the rounds to every available court in the UK and in Europe, claiming anti-Semitism and support for terrorism. And what would happen is we would answer one set of accusations, then they would produce another. And the aim was to really exhaust me both mentally and financially. The day after the inauguration ceremony, I was traveling to Berlin and I was stopped at Berlin airport and prevented from entering, as you know, and then deported.
Accomplices in a crime try to hide the evidence and silence the witnesses.
And a few days later, unbeknown to me, the German government then submitted a ban for my entry to any Schengen country. And I only discovered that when I tried to travel to Paris, where I had been invited by the French Senate. When we challenged this ban legally, we discovered that it was really identical file that had been submitted and used by the German authorities to the one used by UK Lawyers for Israel. After the ban was overturned, we then challenged the ban itself in a court in Berlin, which found the ban to have been illegal. So the German government then decided to appeal against the ruling of the Berlin Administrative Court and lost. In the meantime, UK Lawyers for Israel and personally Caroline Turner submitted a complaint to the General Medical Council claiming that I posed a risk, an immediate risk, to patients because of my anti-Semitism and support of terrorism, and tried to have me summarily suspended by the General Medical Council. And in her letter, she said that although I've never met Dr. Abu Sitta and I've not been treated by him, I'm worried that if I were to need his medical attention, he would discriminate against me. So that meant that I had to go to a General Medical Council tribunal to prevent my immediate summary suspension. After we managed to do that and the GMC refused her complaint, UK Lawyers for Israel in its own name submitted a second complaint to the General Medical Council, also with effectively the same file, and submitted a complaint to the Charity Commission requesting that I am barred for life from holding any office in a UK registered charity. And so what I have left now from all of these, and all of them have been rejected by the courts and the tribunals, is the GMC tribunal that's about to start on the 6th of January.
To summarize there, you've had a German travel ban, Schengen travel ban, a court to determine the legality of the German travel ban, a government appeal from Germany against the court, complaints to Glasgow University for your rectorship, complaints to the Charity Commission, the General Medical Council. How much do you think all of this legal action has cost?
It's close to or just over 100,000.
And who do you think's paying for it?
From my side, donations.
It's cost you 100,000.
Yes. And the thing is, they're choosing tribunals where the losing party does not have to pay legal expenses. And so the aim is never to win. The aim is financial and mental attrition. But most importantly, the aim for them with me, having worked in Gaza, being identified as a Palestinian doctor, is to put on trial the 1,700 Palestinian doctors and nurses they have killed, to say, look, these Palestinians who pretend to be health professionals are not what they seem. And therefore, those who were killed were rightfully killed. I mean, I believe strongly that UK Lawyers for Israel are trying to, through my courts, put those who were killed within the Palestinian health system on trial to justify their killing.
The UK government and the US government have consistently said they do not have concerns about Israel's approach to international humanitarian law so far as targeting...
Oh, no.
So
why? No. That's an extraordinary allegation.
May I finish the question?
All
May I
right,
finish
well,
the answer?
be careful what you're saying.
And so the public face of this organisation in the UK is someone called Natasha Hausdorff, and she was in a committee hearing in the British Parliament last year. The founders and the board members include a number of British lords, baronesses, prominent lawyers, and according to the academic Hill Akhed, who did an expose on UKLFI, they said that they have at least an informal relationship with the Israeli Foreign Office. Have your court cases, have any of the files from that revealed anything else about who's involved in pursuing these legal actions?
The press office at the Israeli embassy put out a press release condemning me and accusing me of fraud because I acted as a professional witness in assessing photographs of Palestinians killed and returned by Israel in the issue of whether they've had organs harvested. And, on track within 12 hours of that happening, then the Telegraph and the Times produced the same article. So it's obvious that this kind of integrated attack happens all within the same circles.
And what has been the personal or professional toll on you?
It's absolutely horrendous. I mean, other than the financial worry of these bills, other than the fact that I'm banned, they have to check the original ban, which means every time I travel, I'm kept for a couple of hours. It's a continuous attrition. The General Medical Council took seriously a complaint by an organization that on its own website says that its job is to go after people who oppose Israel. What's shocking is regulatory bodies in the UK agreeing to be drawn in to a political witch hunt.
Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitta, thank you very much for talking to Declassified. This is a very important discussion, and the influence of UKLFI is something that we will keep investigating and looking into. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more journalism like this, please subscribe to our channel. Please consider donating if you can. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.